All right, welcome back to the Hy-Vee pregame show. This is Bryce Ladwig. Hy-Vee, there's a helpful smile in every aisle. Let's get into our pregame coach interview brought to you by 1919 Root Beer, the creamiest full-body draft root beer available. You can find it in large cans at Yankton Hy-Vee and, of course, on tap at Charlie's Pizza. That is 1919 Root Beer. Here's a conversation I had just a few moments ago with head coach Chris Haynes. All right, welcome back to the Hy-Vee pregame show. Bryce Ladwig being joined by Coach Chris Haynes. Coach, obviously you had about a week to get some practice in, get some fresh legs. How was the trip up to Pierre?
Yeah, we got good weather in February, and that's a big thing for the trip. Looking forward to a good game tonight.
And this is obviously always a tough team in the Pierre Governors, especially playing here. Is this one of the tougher ESD arenas to be playing in?
Yeah, it's one of the more, I guess you would say hostile environments. It's the big show in town in Pierre. It's Friday night, so expecting a good crowd.
All right, give me a quick Pierre preview.
Yeah, it starts with Keenholtz, obviously. He's really good, all-state point guard, and he just does so many good things for him. And their offense really revolves around him and his ability to score and set up his teammates. And then the Edmond kid is just a really good athlete at 6'7", can run, jump. Seems like he has 2 or 3 dunks every game. The Hansen kid's really been shooting it well for him, 6'4" senior. The Bush kid inside's a problem. Then off the bench, 2 sophomores, familiar Pierre names, and Zabel and Kaiser. So, Coach Kuzler has a complete team, and it'll take one of our best efforts of the year to be in it tonight.
All right, point of emphasis for a Bucks victory.
Yeah, well, we're going to have to try to, again, slow down Keenholtz and Edmond. That's a big task. If we can somehow, hold those guys in check, get some stops, and then get some contributions from a lot of different guys on offense.
All right, Coach, we'll talk to you tomorrow morning on the show.
Sounds good. Thanks.
All right, that's Coach Chris Haynes and our pregame interview brought to you by 1919 Root Beer. We'll take a break, come back, and continue here on the Hy-Vee pregame show. And welcome back to the Hy-Vee pregame show. This is Bryce Ladwig, and they'll officially put under 15 minutes to go until tip-off. Our key player of the game brought to you by Missouri River Associates of Yankton. Looking for insurance agents that have the knowledge to point you in the right direction? Contact Missouri River Associates in Yankton. Today's key player of the game is Mac Reichen. We all know I like to say Mac Attack, but he really has come to his own as of late. He has been able to find his shot and growing confidence, and it's been getting even better every game. It really came out in Brandon Valley, ended that game, I believe, with 16 points, and then came out strong at Douglas as well. And once he finds his shot and just gains that confidence, he is a true threat on the court, just as much so as Jaden Kroll and Rugby Reichen. Mac Reichen on the season, 6.5 points per game. And also pretty reliable at the line, 58%. And when he gets that shooting stroke from three going, he is dangerous there as well. He is our key player of the game. This is our Hy-Vee pregame show. Hy-Vee's a helpful smile in every aisle. For those just joining us, records of these teams: Yankton Bucks 7-6 on the season, 4-2 in ESD play. Pierre Governors 6-7 overall, 1-3 in ESD play. Both are looking to cement their spots in the Sodex 16. Pierre looking to climb into the top 8. Yankton looking to stay there. Tail of the tape between these two teams: points per game. Yankton Bucks 59.1 points per game, 58 for Pierre. Point differential average: Bucks are plus 5.1 over their opponents. Pierre is plus 7.2. 3-point percentage: the Bucks at 31.3%, and Pierre is at 28.8%. Free throw percentage: Yankton 69.5, while Pierre's at 57.1. Rebounds per game: Yankton 29.1, and Pierre is at 29.6. Okay. And turnovers per game: Bucks 10.2, Pierre 11.5. Lead scorer for Yankton is Jaden Kroll, 12.8 points per game. And then for Pierre, as I scramble to find that, here we go, is, I'm assuming it's Keenholz. Yes, it is. Lincoln Keenholz, 18.4 points per game. And he alone is shooting 69.6% at the line, 28% from three. So very dangerous. We've seen that over and over, not just on the football field, but on the basketball court and the baseball diamond as well. He is just dangerous no matter what sport you put him in. And so looking forward to his matchup on the court here tonight versus the Yankton Bucks. Vision of the game brought to you by Vision Real Estate, where their focus is always on you. Well, story of the Bucks, right? They're outsized. And here tonight, they're going to have to do exactly what they have done against Brandon Valley. And even Douglas was a little bit bigger. They just need to rely on great ball transition and perimeter shooting, as well as just smart and aggressive cuts to the rim. That's your vision of the game. Again, brought to you by Vision Real Estate. Colors of the game brought to you by Buell's Cleaners. Buell's offers dry cleaning, laundry, and business services like linens, rags, rugs, and uniforms. Buell's Cleaners, 444 3rd Street in Yankton. The Bucks in their road reds, white numbers and letters. And then the Pierre Governors in their home whites with their green numbers, letters, black outline. Starting lineups and tip-off will be around the corner. We're going to take a break here on the Hy-Vee pregame show. This is Bucks basketball on KYNT and KYNTV. All right, welcome back to the Hy-Vee pregame show. I have some sub-varsity scores for you. In the 9B game, the Yankton Bucks won 56-49. Owen Washon had 15 points. Cohen Zarbach 16. Trey Sager 20. In the 9A game, it was a 54-50 overtime loss. Carson Ness had 14 and Easton Nelson had 10. And so good performances from the Yankton sub-varsity Bucks here tonight. Great crowd on hand for Pierre. They always pack this gym. It's always nice to see on both sides too. And this is what makes it one of the most, as Coach Chris Haynes said, not in a negative way, but one of the most hostile environments to be playing in for the Bucks. Every season when they're here, or every other year usually, it is one of the more interesting places to play. It's a healthy rivalry, I'll put it that way. And glad to be here. Very glad that you are joining us here on KYNT and KYNTV. And let's go over some Yankton Bucks stats on the season. Leading the Bucks in scoring, Jaden Krall, 12.9 points per game. Also shooting 31% from 3 and 67% at the line. Also the second lead scorer, Rugby Riken, about 11 points per game, 20% from 3, 68% at the free throw line. So those two, along with Mac Riken, Cody Oswald can get hot pretty fast as well. Drew Riken has a good stroke. The shooting is not an issue for the Yankton Bucks. It's trying to get in the paint, but they have played aggressive, and it really also boils down to how aggressive the officials, on both sides, it goes both ways, how aggressive the officials allow these teams to play. Yankton, they almost need to make up for the lack of size by being more aggressive. So they've also gotten into foul trouble in the past. Hopefully that is not an issue here tonight. During the halftime show, we'll check on the out-of-town scoreboard and stats, as always, to make sure that when the halftime reaches, you don't go anywhere. And same with the Hy-Vee postgame show. And as I said before, a good contingent of Yankton fans on site here tonight supporting the Yankton Bucks. Bucks basketball is brought to you in part by Yankton Computer Network Services. For your complete personal and business computer solutions, rely on Yankton Computer and Network Services. Wishing the best of luck to the Yankton Bucks and Gazelles this season. And Pizza Ranch. For legendary chicken and the best pizza, it's Yankton Pizza Ranch on Broadway, or you can call 665-1222. And State Farm, Roy Wilcox. Roy Wilcox State Farm Insurance has been helping customers get to a better state for 100 years. No matter where you are in life, they'll help you make the right play calls for your insurance coverage. That's Roy Wilcox State Farm, a proud supporter of the Bucks and Gazelles. And Floor Tech. Whether your home or floor is wet, call Floor Tech, 665-4839. And finally, Stockman's Motorsports. Stockman's Motorsports is your local Polaris dealer with a full lineup of Rangers and Sportsmans ready to get you in the fields, in the woods, wherever you like to go. Stockman's Motorsports is a proud supporter of all area students and athletes. We'll take one more break here, then we'll come back with the national anthem break. So I'm going to lead us right into another break. I know, crazy, right? But this is the Hy-Vee pregame show, Yankton Bucks basketball on KYNT, KYNTV. All right, welcome back to the Hy-Vee pregame show. This is Bryce Ladwig, Yankton Bucks basketball ahead of us, taking on the Pierre Governors. Let's get into our starting lineups, and we will start with the Pierre Governors, our hosts here this evening. And starting number 2, 6'4", senior guard Matthew Hansen. Number 3, 6'3", junior guard Lincoln Keenholz. Number 10, 6'2", junior guard Jacob Mayer. Number 24, 6'7", junior forward Jackson Edmond. Number 45, 6'4", junior center Christian Bush. And for your Yankton Bucks, number 3, 5'10", junior guard Mac Reichen. Number 4, 6 foot, junior guard Rugby Reichen. Number 11, 6 foot, senior guard Dylan Prouty. And 6'3", junior forward, number 14, Cody Oswald. And 6'5", senior forward, number 23, Jaden Kral. Pierre is coached by Brianna Kusler and assisted by Skip Kurth, Brevin Kaiser, and Lonnie Heyer. Yankton Bucks coached by Chris Haynes, assisted by Sawyer Schmitz, Jason Savvy, Matt Decker, and Brady Hale. Looking forward to a big-time matchup here tonight. Thank you again for joining us. As we wait for them to do their official lineups on the floor, and we'll get this thing started. ESD basketball on KYNT and KYNTV. And Lincoln Keenholz and Jaden Kral meet each other at the center line, right on top of the big green logo here. P for Pierre. And this is Bucks basketball. The tip is won by, well, technically it was won by Yankton, but it went out of bounds, so it is Pierre basketball. And we have the opening possession for Pierre up top. It's Christian Bush. Bush over to Keenholz. He feeds it down low into the hands of Jackson Edmond. Edmond up top to Meyer. Hansen. Cross court. Worked back to Mayer. Puts up a 3 front rim. Cody Oswald with the rebound. Just about falls as he gives it over to Rugby. Rugby signaling for what offensive set the Bucks are going to open with here tonight. Moves it over the left to Mac Reichen. He moves up top now. And Rugby has it on the right wing, looking into Cody Oswald in the low block. He dribbles with his right. He's under the basket. Out to the corner to Oswald. Thought about a 3. He'll drive instead. Back to the basket. And push pass out to the perimeter to Prouty. Now Rugby drives up with his left and almost lays it in. But can't get it. Keenholz with it. Keenholz always dangerous. We've seen that. Kicks it to the corner. Up 4-3 for Pierre. Matthew Hansen air ball. And Prouty dives for it and he loses the basketball. We will have a jump ball. Arrow possession is for Yankton, so it's Bucks basketball. 6:51 to go here in the first. Still no score. Rugby Reichen gets the inbound from Mac Reichen. He dribbles to his right. Jaden Kral up top. Guarded by Bush. Now Dylan Prouty to Rugby. Launches a 3 right side, and you can count it. Rugby Reichen gets scoring started here. Gets the 3 for the Bucks. 3-0 lead for Yankton. Keenholz, long 2, left perimeter, no good. Front rim rebounded by Jaden Kral. He'll push the ball down the floor. Kicks to Dylan Prouty. Prouty for 3, grazes the front rim, but that is it. Keenholz with the rebound, push pass to his left. It is to Jacob Mayer. And out to Hansen. Edmond, now Keenholz in the corner right in front of the Yankton bench. Bucks moving left to right on your screen or radio dial, Pierre the opposite. Keenholz to Edmond. Edmond, hand off to Keenholz, drives up with his left and lays it in. Lincoln Keenholz. A 3-2 lead for Yankton, 5:42 to go in the first period. And Rugby drives, is fouled on the shot, and he'll be going to the line for 2. Took about a 15-foot jumper. Got his hand hit, and Rugby going to the line for 2. Their first trip to the line for either team in this matchup. And Rugby's first is up, and it is good. His second one is up, and that one is not good. So 1 of 2 at the line for Rugby Riken. And ball goes out of bounds for Pierre on their possession. It is Yankton basketball. 4-2 lead for the Bucks. 5:20 to go in the first period. Jaden Kroll up top. Over left to Mac Riken. Waiting for a Cody Oswald screen. Goes the opposite way. Drives into the paint. Definitely traveled. And back iron. Can't connect. And Jaden Kroll tries to save it, but he does too in the hands of Matthew Hansen. And the lengthy Hansen, all 6'4" of him, has the ball for the Governors. Sends it to the left to Jacob Mayer. Shortest player on this team at 5'11". And now Edmond. Back to the basket, quick over-under move, up with his left, can't get it. Jaden Kroll with the rebound, he'll bring the ball up himself. Faded pass over to Dylan Prouty. Prouty launches a quick 3 in the corner. That's 3 for DP. Dylan Prouty. Quick release, extends the Bucks lead 7-2, 4:35 to go in the first period. It's Keenholz at the free throw line, back to the basket. Sends it over to the right side to Mayer. And now it's Hansen launching a 3. Air ball out of bounds. Bucks basketball. And now Rugby. Moves to his right. Back to the basket. Quick over-under. Trying to find an outlet. He does to Drew Riken. Drew Riken in for Cody Oswald for the Bucks. And Michael Moore is in for Dylan Prouty. We have a collision under the basket. And now Rugby Riken has it. At the corner to Mac. Mac feints a 3. He'll drive instead. Now Michael Moore's. Back to Mac. Handoff to Rugby. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Gets around Keenholz, pass down low to Michael Moore's up with his right and does beat the shot clock, but just grazes the rim. It is Pierre basketball. Bucks lead 7-2, 3:40 to go in the first period. Keenholz moves it over right. Now Cade Kaiser, who is in for Pierre. And 3-point attempt from Kaiser, no good. Rugby Riken brings the ball down the right side of the floor. And right into a defender. And so Keenholz has it. And they're going to call Rugby for a blocking a foul. Keenholz knew what he was doing. You know, Rugby did not have his feet set and just charged forward. So that'll be the first foul on Rugby. And now Kaiser into Brecken Kruger for Pierre. Also in is Jet Zabel. On the court now for Yankton is Rugby, Drew, and Mac Riken, Jaden Kroll, Michael Moores. Zabel on top to Kruger, now to Lincoln Keenholz. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Kruger launches a 3, front rim, Keenholz trying to go after it. And they're going to get Mac Riken on a foul. So Lincoln Keenholz went up for a rebound and lost kind of that getting taken out from under his feet, but Mac Reagan just stood there. Lincoln Keenholz gets the inbound down low and is fouled. There we get Drew Reichen. Keenholz's first free throw is up, and it is good. Keenholz's second attempt is up and hits that one as well. 4 points for Keenholz tonight. 7-4 lead for the Bucks. 2:40 to go in the first. Bucks basketball, Jaden Krall. Hand off to Drew Reichen up top. Back to Krall. Rugby camps himself into the corner. Krall dribbles to his right, now left. He'll cut. He's on the left wing and sends it up and can't get it to go. And we have a foul going against Pierre under their own basket. Let's see who this one's on. That is on Cade Kaiser, the 6'2 sophomore. So Bucks have the basketball under their own basket. Rugby deep pass to Drew Reichen way up top. Now over to Jaden Krall. And another just errant pass from the Bucks into the hands. Keenholz coast to coast lays it in. Six points for Lincoln Keenholz tonight, all 6 for Pierre. Bucks now just have a 1-point lead, 7-6, 2:05 to go in the first. And what a play for Drew Reichen. Pump fake and over under on the wing. Puts it in. Drew Reichen, what a shot. And Keenholz, a quick runner with his right, gets it to go. And now Rugby dribbles and puts up a quick pull-up shot. Can't get it. Lincoln Keenholz coast to coast here. He pulls up the reins. Pierre again down by just 1 minute and a half to go in the first. Ball taken away. Jaden Krall. Krall to Rugby. Rugby into the paint, into the corner. It's Drew Reichen. Launches a 3 and rattles in and out. Bringing it up for Pierre will be Brecken Kruger. And now Kruger. And now Jackson Edmond. Edmond drives up off the back iron. Can't get it to go. Rugby Reichen. To Jaden Krall. Launches a 3. Front rim. No good. Kruger now brings down the left side for the Governors. We're at 38 seconds to go in the first. It is a 9-8 lead for Yankton. Edmond guarded by Krall. Now to Keenholz. Keenholz looking for a foul. Gets his own rebound, goes back up again. This time he banks it in. 10 points, all 10 for Pierre. And that is the first Pierre lead, leading 10-9 over Yankton. 14 seconds to go in the first period. Rugby has it for the Bucks. Goes up to the right side, now switches over to the left. And bounce pass to Jaden Krall. Krall goes to the basket, up off the glass, and Yankton with the lead. And at the buzzer, desperate shot, no good. And so after the first period, it is Yankton 11, Pierre 10. Let's take a Culligan water break. Water breaks brought to you by Culligan, your local water expert specializing in water softeners, water filtration, and bottled water. We'll be back in 1 minute. And Pierre has it, and Colton Potts aggressively almost takes the ball away. And when we come back, it's like a wrestling match out on the floor, but things have settled down now. It is Kruger. Over to Keenholz on the right wing, the far wing. And launching a three is Kaiser, front rim, Colton Potts. Able to box out for a rebound and is fouled. I think they're going to get Christian Bush. Yes, they are. (11-10) lead for the Bucks. 7.5 minutes to go in the first half. Mac Reichen brings the ball up over to Drew Reichen. Drew Reichen has the ball taken away. Christian Bush has it. Now to Keenholz. Keenholz hustling down the floor. And definitely ran over Mac Reichen. No foul there. Christian Bush launches a long jumper. It's good. And 12-11 lead for Pierre. And Mac Reichen just being thrown around the court. He just hits his stomach hard. And they get Kruger on the foul. Non-shooting foul. So Mac to inbound for the Bucks. Does so to Dylan Prouty, but Keenholz able to knock it out of bounds. Mac Reichen inbounds to Colton Potts up top. Potts, hand up to Prouty. Prouty up top, over left to Mac Reichen. Bucks trail by 1, 6.5 minutes. Dylan Prouty launches a three, and in and out, no good. Cody Oswald with the rebound, and they're not going to count it. Offensive foul going on Yankton. They're going to get Colton Potts on the offensive foul. So now Keenholz will inbound for Pierre. Gets it forward to Mayer. Mayer to the corner to Hansen, looking for a three, nothing there. Kruger now. Now to Hansen. Back to Mayer, Kruger, Keenholz on the far wing. Gets around Mac, drives the baseline. Mac does a nice job of actually cutting him off. And now it is down low to Christian Bush. Shot put shot with his left, gets it to go. 4 points for Bush. And now Rugby Reichen drives the baseline. Now to Colton Potts. He's at the 11-foot mark. Launches a jumper. It's good. Colton Potts. He's stirring it. 14-13 lead for Pierre. 6 minutes to go in the first half. And now it's Bush again. Another runner. And he is just running over the Yankton Bucks in the paint. Large frame. Now 3-point lead for Pierre. 5:40 to go in the first half. Mac Reichen gets the pass down low, down to Cody Oswald off the glass. It is good. Cody Oswald brings the Bucks within 1, trailing 16-15. 5:25 to go in the first half. Now Keenholz. Over the right to Kruger. Kruger. His pass down low to Bush is kicked out of bounds. Remains Pierre basketball. And now Hansen. Hansen, long jumper, banks it in. His first basket of the game is now a 3-point lead again for Pierre, 18-15. Prouty, step back, almost had a nice three there, but gives it out to Rugby. Rugby drives. Now Cody Oswald. Oswald pump fake, drives the baseline, trying to get some separation from Keenholz. Out to Jaden Kroll. And now Dylan Prouty. Launches a long three and hits the rim, no good. Bush with the rebound. Hands it over to Mayer. Mayer now. Over to Bush on the left wing. Bush trying to fade in pass to Edmond. He actually does get it. Definitely double dribble, but it's out of bounds anyway. Bucks basketball. And now rugby to Dylan Prouty. Prouty up top. Now Jaden Krall. Krall lays it in with his right as he drives the baseline. Jaden Krall, 4 points here tonight. And that brings Yankton within one, 18-17, Governor lead, 4:05 to go in the first half. Hanson, long shot, no good. Back iron rebounded by Colton Potts. Now Rugby Riken brings it down the right side of the floor. Drives up with his right, and a little too hard of a shot, nothing there. Lincoln Keenholz brings it down the left side of the floor for the Gubs. You're listening to Bucks basketball or watching Bucks basketball, KYNT or KYNTV. Thank you for joining us. Edmond, free throw line, turnaround jumper, back iron, rebounded by Colton Potts, or is it? No, he can't quite hold on, goes out of bounds. Pierre basketball under their own basket. Bush and Mayer check out. So on the floor for the Govs, it is Keenholz, Edmond, Hanson, Cade Kaiser, and Jet Zabel. And the Keenholz fadeaway jumper, can't get it. Colton Potts can't quite get to it in time. Keenholz floater with his right is good. And a timeout is taken by Yankton. Timeouts are brought to you by Hedro in Yankton. When it's time for a new job, go to jobs.hedro.com. We'll be back in 30 seconds. And welcome back to TF Riggs High School. Yankton Bucks trailing 20-17 over the Pierre Governors. 3:05 to go in the first half. Mac Riken, Dylan Prouty left open for three, launches it, front rim. Jaden Krall with the rebound. Krall over under, up off the glass, and can't quite get it. Who has this rebound? It is ripped apart by Jet Zabel. And now Keenholz down low to Hanson. And Hanson was hacked pretty hard under the basket, but nothing was called. So to answer our pregame question, how aggressive will the officials let this thing get? They're going to classic ESD style. Lincoln Keenholz. Down low, and Edmond up with it with his left, can't quite get it. Mac Riken hustles down the floor, down to Cody Oswald. Oswald drives into the lane. He is fouled. And they're going to get Keenholz on the foul. Oh, they're going to get Jet Zabel. His first, team fifth. And now it is Jaden Krall. Try to get to the paint. Ball blocked away from behind by Edmond. You don't see that every day. Keenholz, hop step into the paint. Up with his right. It is good. And Keenholz with 14 points here tonight. We have a foul on the Bucks end. And Krall gets the inbound, puts it up, can't get it. Rugby with the second chance. He goes up, he is fouled. He will be going to the line. Bucks don't want to let this lead get any bigger. They trail by 5, 22-17, 2:09 to go in the first half. Yankton now in a bonus, but it was a shooting foul, so Rugby at the line, 4-2, misses the first. And second shot up, and that one's also no good. But Yankton does get the rebound. Drew Reichen on the right wing. He drives in, out to Oswald. Oswald thought about a three, dribbles, cross-court pass is almost taken away, but Rugby's able to recover. He has his back to the basket. Guarded by Kaiser, out to Drew Reichen. Drew to Rugby, launches a three in the corner. You can count it, Rugby Reichen. His second three of the game brings Yankton back within 2, minute 40 to go in the first half. Now Kaiser launches a three of his own, bottom net, taken away by Rugby Reichen. And pass forward to Oswald. Oswald hop step into the paint, up with his left, blocked away by Edmond. And Pierre last to touch it as it goes out of bounds, remains Yankton basketball. But it's those kind of plays that you like if you're Pierre. That's a momentum play. Rugby gives it into Jaden Krall. Krall had barely touched it. Rugby touched it as he still was half inbounds, half out of bounds, they say. He hadn't established himself. So it is Pierre basketball. 22-20. Governors on top of Yankton. 1:13 to go in the first half. Keenholz has it on the right wing, launches a three, back iron. Rugby goes up for the rebound, and Kruger just about takes his head off, but Yankton has the basketball. Now Rugby on the right wing, he drives in and passes into the corner to Drew Reichen. Launches a three, and no, it can't go. 53 seconds to go in the first half now. Governor still with that 2-point lead. Kruger guarded by Drew Reichen. Now top to Hansen. Hansen trying to give himself some separation. Keenholz doing what he can to get open. Now Keenholz right wing. And switches off. Jaden Krall has him now. Edmond gets the pass down low. Out to Kruger. Kruger for three. He can't get it. Rebound still comes up, and they're going to say last touched by Yankton. So they're going to say Pierre basketball. 22 seconds to go here in the first half. Now Kruger. Pass the perimeter to Keenholz. Keenholz now. Back up to the half-court line. 10 seconds. Now the big Christian Bush in there. And Kruger launches a three, and it is good. What a difference one possession can make. Yankton wanted the basketball with 22 seconds left. They said Yankton was the last one to touch it, led to a three-pointer. So at the half, it is Pierre 25, Yankton 20 here at TF Riggs High School. This is ESD Conference Varsity basketball action on KYNT and KYNTV. Our Avera halftime show is around the corner. This is the Avera halftime show. Avera, live better, live balanced. Stats review brought to you by Rhonda Westland State Farm Insurance. Let Rhonda review your current home, auto, or life insurance to see if she can help you save some money. That's Rhonda Westland State Farm. All right, we'll start with the Pierre Governors. We have 2 points for Matthew Hansen, 14 for Lincoln Keenholz, and 6 for Christian Bush. Pretty simple. And then for Yankton, 2 for Drew Reichen. And Rugby has 2. Or excuse me, Rugby has 6. Never mind. Rugby has 6. Dylan Prouty has 3. Cody Oswald has 2. And Jaden Kroll has 4. Colton Potts rounds it out with 2 of his own. Just stats review brought to you by Rhonda Westland State Farm Insurance. She also wants you to know that you should let her help you save some money. Let her review your current home, auto, or life insurance. Key player of the second half brought to you by Missouri River Associates. Looking for insurance agents that have the knowledge to point you in the right direction? Contact Missouri River Associates in Yankton. Well, it's going to be Rugby Reichen here, our key player of the second half. Did a good job of finding some open shooters in the first half, being aggressive. He does have Lincoln Keenholz on him a lot, and just great athletes guarding him. But I believe 0 of 4 at the line so far tonight. So if he's going to get to line, he has to be able to hit those. As a team, Yankton has a struggle with the free throw percentages, 69.5%. Not awful, but always could be better. Let's check on our out-of-town scoreboard, see what other AA matchups are happening around the state here tonight. Girls AA scores. It is Sioux Falls, Washington over Watertown right now, 26-13 at the half. Harrisburg and Aberdeen Central are playing at Harrisburg. I don't have an update on that yet. And also playing is Rapid City Central hosting Brandon Valley. Don't have an update on that either. People need to update their scores. Rapid City Stevens and O'Gorman also playing. That's at Rapid City Stevens. Don't have a score on that either. But I will work on those here during the break. In boys AA basketball, Aberdeen Central over Harrisburg right now at halftime, 34-22. That's a big victory if they can pull that one out. Sioux Falls, Washington just over Watertown, 44-43. 5 minutes left in the third. And at the half, Sioux Falls Roosevelt over Mitchell, 34-30. That's another big matchup. And then obviously our score here 25, Yankton 20. And then out in West River, O'Gorman is at Rapid City Stevens. They're playing tonight the late game, and Brandon Valley at Rapid City Central the late game as well. It's your out-of-town scoreboard. We'll take one last break here on the Avera halftime show. We'll come back with second half action. This is Bucks basketball and KYNTV. All right, second half action about to begin here from TF Riggs High School in the state capital. Thank you for joining us. Right now it is the Pierre Governors 25, Yankton 20. A very aggressive first half. We knew that going in. All right, Mac Reichen inbounds to Rugby Reichen. Across the midline, Yankton moving right to left on your screen or radio dial. Rugby, back to Dylan Prouty, thought about a three, now to Jaden Krall in the corner. Rugby has it, splits a couple defenders, pass into the corner to Dylan Prouty, launches it, moving, three. That's three for DP. Dylan Prouty, his second three of the game. He has 6. Now Yankton cuts the lead within 2. Full court trap set for Lincoln Keenholz. He gets out of it. Into Edmond. Edmond back to the basket, up with his left. Back iron, no good. And last touch by Jaden Krall, an attempt to try to get that rebound. Remains Governor basketball. And the inbound to Edmond. Edmond down to Bush, and they're going to get Yankton on the reach in foul. And inbound to Edmond. Edmond now in the corner. Keenholz, low block. Trying to get around defenders, puts it up with his right and gets it to go. Lincoln Keenholz, 16 points tonight. 4-point lead for the Governors, 7 minutes to go in the third. Rugby drives, ball blocked away by Edmond. His second block of the game. And now Keenholz has it. Now it's Edmond. Edmond, push shot with his right. Cody Oswald pulls down the rebound, gives it over to Rugby. Rugby now brings down the left side of the floor. He's up top. Now Dylan Prouty. Prouty into Cody Oswald. He is back to the basket. Puts up a quick jumper. Back iron can't quite connect. Good look, though. 27-23. Governors on top. 6.5 minutes to go in the third. Keenholz 3. No good. Jaden Krall with the rebound. Krall brings the ball up himself. Stops at the three-point line. Launches a three. Back iron can't get it. Keenholz moves the ball down the left side for the Governors. He pulls up the reins now. And now up top, and launching a three for Pierre is Hansen. The putback for Lincoln Keenholz. Keenholz has 18 tonight. Timeout taken by Yankton. Timeouts are brought to you by Hedro in Yankton. When it's time for a new job, go to jobs.hedro.com. We'll be back in 1 minute. And Dylan Prouty is fouled as we come back from the break. His first free throw is up and no good. Second attempt upcoming. And that one's also no good. Bucks really struggling at the line here tonight, trailing by 6. 5:25 to go in the third. And ball taken away by Prouty. Prouty versus Edmond goes up for another block and another attempt for Yankton. And they're going to say it's off of Yankton again, so it's Pierre basketball. And now it is Mayer. Up top to Keenholz. Keenholz trying to get himself open. Entire offense runs through him. And now Mayer to a Bush. Up top, Hansen. Hansen drives and is fouled by Colton Potts. So Hansen at the line hits his first. And his second is good as well. 4 points for Hansen. And now it's a big Pierre lead. 31-23, 4:40 to go in the third. Yankton with the basketball. Jaden Krall guarded by Edmond. Hand up to Prouty. Thought about a three. Pump fake. And bounce pass into the corner to Cody Oswald. Jab step, spin move. Into the mid-block. His pass is taken away. Taken away by Hansen. Now it's Keenholz launching a three. It's good. Timeout taken by Yankton. We'll step aside as well. Timeouts are brought to you by Hedro in Yankton. When it's time for a new job, go to jobs.hedro.com. Back in 30 seconds. And welcome back. This is Yankton Bucks basketball. Bucks basketball is brought to you in part by Northtown Automotive, your local Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC dealer. Visit northtownusa.com. And Yankton Thrive. It's a new approach to the thriving business economy here in the Yankton area. Yankton Thrive is the one source and resource for all businesses from retail to manufacturing in our area. Bucks basketball trailing 34-23. Lincoln Keenholz 21 points for the Governors. Oswald into the paint. Now Jaden Krall dribbles with his left, bounce pass to Michael Moores at the rim, and he's able to float it in. Michael Moores. And now Keenholz, bounce pass over to Mayer. Now Keenholz at the line, puts up a jumper, it's good. I don't know if you can guard him. We saw that in the last few years, but he is a special talent. 23 points so far. And Jaden Krall can't quite bring in the Dylan Prouty pass. Prouty takes a seat. Drew Reichen comes in for him. On the court right now for the Bucks, it is Rugby and Drew Reichen, Jaden Krall, Michael Moores, Cody Oswald. 3:18 to go in the third. 36-25 lead for the Governors. Now Edmond. Spin move up with his left and can't quite get it. Ball is loose. Rebounded by Keenholz. Keenholz, long three. And rattles in and out, no good. And then Zabel underneath, gives it to Hansen, and Hansen banks it in. And so an official's quick stoppage. Michael Moores checks out. I think he may have done something to his hand, maybe bent a finger. Not quite sure. 2:45 to go here in the third. It is a 38-25 lead for the Governors. Yankton needs to start getting some buckets here consecutively. Cody Oswald, pass to Mac Reichen. Now Drew launches a three. That's three for the Drew crew. 5 points for Drew Reichen tonight. 10-point lead now for the Governors. 2:20 to go in the third. Lincoln drives and lays it in. We have an and one opportunity for Lincoln Keenholz. What does this kid eat? $25 points for Keenholz, and it's only 2:21 to go in the third. And misses his free throw. He's human. 12-point lead for the Governors over the Bucks. 2:12 to go in the third. Mac Reichen has it, drives in the paint. Out to Drew Reichen, another three. And you can count it. Drew Reichen, another three. 9-point lead for the Governors. And Yankton gets the ball after a mishap under the basket for the Governors. On the floor right now for Yankton, the three Reichens, Rugby, Mac, and Drew, as well as Cody Oswald and Jaden Kroll. It's Cade Kaiser on the floor. Lincoln Keenholz, Kruger, and Jet Zabel. Bucks have Mac Reichen as the ball handler. He drives to the rim, and he will draw a foul going against Pierre. And timeout is taken by head coach of Pierre, Brianna Kusler. We'll step aside as well. Timeouts are brought to you by Hedro in Yankton. When it's time for a new job, go to jobs.hedro.com. We'll be back in 30 seconds. And Rugby Reichen with it in some trouble. Gives it over to Drew Reichen. Bucks trail by 9. Drew Reichen under the basket will draw a foul going against Pierre. That's going to go on Cade Kaiser. His third foul, team third. And we have a sub coming in, Matthew Hansen in for Kaiser. Inbound to Cody Oswald under the basket, and just a mosh pit under that rim here tonight. Minute 10 to go in the third. Governor basketball. This is a 9-point lead. Kruger tries to get some separation, gives it over to Hansen. Hansen as his pass knocked out of bounds by Rugby, remains Governor basketball. Into Kruger. Kruger into Edmond in the high block. Now Lincoln Keenholz, pass down low to Jet Zabel, and it is good. Great pass from Lincoln Keenholz. Drew Reichen. Jaden Kroll for three. Rattles in and out. Ball is tipped into the hands of the Governors, and now Hansen. Hansen to Kruger, guarded by Mac Reichen. Now Lincoln Keenholz has it, guarded by Rugby. "15 seconds. Keenholz will just hold this thing. And that is Keenholz with the basketball too long. As a violation. You have to try to advance the ball, or at least make a move. 7 seconds. Rugby has it for the Bucks. To Jaden Kroll for three. Nope, Mac Reichen will launch a three. And no, can't get it. So after the third period, it is Pierre 42 and Yankton 31. We'll take a Colligan water break. Colligan is your local water expert specializing in water softeners, water filtration, and bottled water. We'll be back in 1 minute. And welcome back to TF Riggs High School. Yankton Bucks basketball. Fourth quarter brought to you by Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first. 42-31 lead for the Governors over Yankton. 7:45 to go here in the fourth. And who else would have a nice basket but Lincoln Keenholz? I'm going to run out of room on my stat sheet. 27 points against Yankton. You know, Mac Reichen drives up with his right. It's a Mac attack. Mac Reichen. Now an 11-point lead for the Governors. 7:20 to go here in the game. Keenholz has the ball taken away by Mac Reichen. It's Mac and Cody Oswald. Mac thought about a three himself. He gives it over to Drew. Drew out to Mac. Mac drives with his left. Drives in. Rugby Reichen for three. You can count it. Rugby Reichen. 10 points for Rugby here tonight. 44-36 lead for the Governors. 6:50 to go in the fourth. Now Keenholz, turnaround jumper, can't get it, or a post-up jumper. And Jaden Kroll forward to Mac Reichen. Mac, cross-court pass to Drew. Drew drives with his right, out to Jaden. And now Kroll. Hand off to Rugby. Rugby drives, turnaround jumper, and can't get it. It was a good look, though. Edmond moves forward. Now Bush out top to Mayer. Mayer to Keenholz, guarded by Mac Reichen. Edmond sets a quick screen. Ball almost taken away. And now Mayer. Mayer has the ball stripped away. Mac Reichen has it, and he is fouled. Lincoln Keenholz picks up his first foul of the game. Now Rugby. Hand up to Drew. Drew launches a three, and no. With the rebound is Christian Bush. 44-36 the score. Yankton is trailing the Governors. 5:50 to go in the fourth. Now Hansen. Hesitated dribble, drives down low. It's to Edmond. Edmond goes up for a shot and gets it. That's Edmond's first points tonight. Could have sworn he had more. And now McRacken out to Rugby for three. Front rim, can't get it. Ball moved forward to Lincoln Keenholz. Keenholz pulls up at the free throw line, puts up a jumper, it's good. And now Rugby. Rugby drives back to the basket, out to Jaden Kroll. Now McRacken on the near wing. Drives into the paint, picks up a foul. And picking up the foul is Kruger. Excuse me, Mayer picked it up. And Jaden Kroll back to the basket. Drew Reichen for three. You can count it. That's three for the Drew crew. 11 points for Drew Reichen. It is 48-39. A 9-point lead for the Governors. 4:50 to go in the fourth. And down low, up with it, it is Christian Bush. And we have a travel going on Yankton Governors basketball. And Kruger moves down the center of the court. Ball almost taken away by Yankton. Ball's almost stripped, and we have a jump ball between Rugby and Hansen. Possession arrow goes the Bucks' way. Dylan Prouty checks in for Cody Oswald. McRacken gets the inbound. Bucks trail by 11. Jaden Kroll into the paint, back to the basket, up with his left, and stuffed by the rim. Last touch by Pierre. It is Yankton basketball. Kaiser comes in for Christian Bush. And now Rugby into Drew Reichen. Handoff back to Rugby. Rugby dribbles with his left into the paint, out to Dylan Prouty, launches a three. It's going to be wide left. And Drew Reichen has to hustle after. He does save it into the hands of Rugby. Rugby now to Jaden Kroll. He launches a three up top, and he missed it to the right. Kruger pulls down the rebound, gives it over to Lincoln Keenholz. Keenholz to Edmond. Edmond tries to save it. He does. Hansen. Now Kruger up top. Now Keenholz, long three, rattles in and out. If he would have made that, I would have lost my mind. And now, McRacken to Dylan Prouty, left open for three, launches it. You can count it. That's three for TP. 9 points for Dylan Prouty, 8-point lead for the Govs. 3:20 to go in the fourth. And at timeout, Tanked. We're going to go ahead and step aside as well. Timeouts are brought to you by Hedro in Yankton. When it's time for a new job, go to jobs.hedro.com. Back in 30 seconds. And welcome to High School. This is Yankton Bucks basketball on KYNT and KYNTV. 3:21 to go in the fourth. 50-42 lead for the Governors. Inbounded to Edmond. Back to the basket, guarded by Kroll. Now at top to Kruger. Now it's Kaiser. Kaiser gives it over to Keenholz up top, guarded by Mack. Now back over to Hansen. Down into Kaiser, and a foul going on Rugby. And now Kruger inbounds, and Rugby takes it away. Rugby to Mack. Cuts into the paint, bounce pass down low to Jaden Kroll, banks it in. Kroll with 6 tonight. And it's now a 6-point game, 50-44. And now Kruger. His pass goes wide. It is Bucks basketball. Here's your situation. 2:42 to go in the fourth. 50-44 lead for the Governors. Bucks basketball. The Bucks have rallied back, but did it take too much energy to get there? That's always a question with comebacks. Rugby Riken gets the inbound. Hand up to Mack. Mack to Rugby. Launches a 3. Well short. Jaden Kroll tips it. Back to Dylan Prouty. Now back to Rugby. Rugby drives on the perimeter, guarded by Keenholz. Mack Riken for 3. You can count it. It's a Mack attack. And it's a 3-point ball game, folks. 2:15 to go in the fourth. Keenholz, who has 29 points in the game, has it in the near corner. He sends it out top to Mayer. Back to Keenholz, guarded by Mack Riken. Hansen to Mayer. Hansen, Mayer. Down to Keenholz, drives into the paint, knocks over Mack Riken, up with his right, and it is good. 31 points for Lincoln Keenholz. And now it is a 5-point game. Rugby drives in the corner. Drew Riken launches a 3. Can't quite get it. Ball about to go out of bounds. It is Pierre basketball. Minute 45 on the clock. 52-47 score. Governors with the lead and the ball. Mayer guarded by Drew Riken. Full court traps are set. And Keenholz gets around Rugby Riken. And they're going to get Rugby on a blocking foul. He had his feet set. Coach Chris Haynes wants a travel called. It is Governor basketball. And now Mayer to Keenholz. Now Hansen, turnaround jumper, banks it in. Yankton his basket right here. Dylan Prouty launches a long 3 up top, back iron, ball tipped, and it is Governor basketball. Now Keenholz has it. Keenholz to the corner, it's Mayer. Back up top to Keenholz. Now it's out top, Edmond down low, banks it in. And the steam has been let out of the Bucks comeback. Down by 9 again. Drew Riken drives and is fouled, going on Cade Kaiser. It's a 5th-team foul. Or 6th, rather. So Drew Riken will have 2 free throws on the season. Drew, one of the best shooters for Yankton at the line, is 93% at the line. And hits his first. Brings the Bucks within 8. The last 2 buckets just killed the Bucks. Got within 6, or 3 rather. And then just back-to-back possessions for Pierre. So Drew Riken hits both. Timeout on the floor. We are going to step aside as well. Timeouts are brought to you by Hedro in Yankton. When it's time for a new job, go to jobs.hedro.com. Back in 30 seconds. 56-49, the Yankton Bucks trail the Pierre Governors. They got back to within 3 recently, and just some big-time possessions for Pierre put them behind the 8 ball. And now Keen Holes forward to Mayer. Mayer down to Christian Bush. He is fouled. And the inbound back to Bush, and Bush will be going to the line for the 1-and-1. Bush sends it up, can't get it to go. Drew Reichen has it for Yankton. Sends it forward to Jaden Krull. Back to Drew Reichen. Drew to Dylan Prouty. Prouty over to Mac Reichen. Now Rugby. Rugby drives. Corner to Drew. Launches a 3. That's 3 for the Drew crew. And now down low to Bush. Bush waiting for a foul. He'll be going to the line for the 1-and-1. And first one up for Bush. He gets it. Second one up for Bush, and that one is good as well. Timeout on the floor. Your score 58-52. Pierre with the lead, and the Bucks with the basketball. 25.6 seconds on the clock. We're going to go ahead and just keep it right here. But timeouts are brought to you by Hedro in Yankton. When it's time for a new job, go to jobs.hedro.com. Bucks basketball is brought to you in part by the UPS store. They'll help you with everything ink, printing, packing, copying, faxing, freighting, any ink your small business needs. Even shredding, notarizing, mailboxing, and of course, shipping. The UPS store of Yankton across from Walmart. And Graham Tire. If you notice issues with your vehicle, don't hesitate to call the service experts at Graham Tire. They'll get you in quickly, diagnose your problem, and get you repaired and back on the road. Because they do more than sell tires. It's Graham Tire of Yankton, your auto service and tire store next door. 23 seconds. Rugby Reichen has the ball for Yankton. Pass to the corner. Drew Reichen launches a 3. Gets it! That's 3 for Drew Reichen. He is having quite the night from the perimeter. And he has 19 for Yankton. It is 58-55. Pierre with the lead, 16 seconds to go here in the fourth. And 16 seconds here in the fourth. 3-point lead for the Govs. And we have a timeout on the floor. We're keeping it right here. And so, situation being, Yankton does have a chance. They can get a stop. Yankton does have a chance to tie this thing up. The way that Drew Reichen is shooting from the perimeter especially. And now a ball inbounded, and Rugby Reichen able to poke it out of bounds, but it remains in the hands of the Governors. Inbounded. And it's Jet Zabel who gets the inbound. He's going to the line for the bonus 1-and-1. First one up for Jet Zabel is good. It's a 4-point game. He has 4. His second is up and hits the back iron. No good. Rugby has it. 10 seconds. Now Drew Reichen launches a contested 3. Is fouled, but nothing is called. Eventually they get Lincoln Keenholz. They get Lincoln Keenholz going to the line for the double bonus. And so Keenholz has a chance to extend his scoring here. So Keenholz hits his first. And he hits a second as well. He missed it long. Matthew Hansen with the rebound. It is Pierre over Yankton, 61-55. Well fought game by both squads. We have our Hy-Vee postgame show around the corner. Don't go anywhere. This is Bucks basketball on KYNT and KYNTV. And welcome to the Hy-Vee postgame show. It's Bryce Ladwig with you. Yankton falls short here in the state capital, 61-55. and are now 7-7 on the season, as well as Pierre, who improves to 7-7 on the season. And just a really tough game. Pierre got off to a big lead, and Yankton came roaring back, but the Classic, maybe it took a little steam out of them, having to come back from a deficit. They got to, 12 points at one point. And just really proud of the Yankton Bucks here tonight. Tough place to play. We always know that TF Riggs High School is always a tough place. So we'll talk about what's ahead for the Bucks. Right now, let's get into our stats review. Stats are brought to you by Rhonda Westland State Farm Insurance, but in the postgame brought to you by USD Athletics. And we'll start with the Pierre Governors. 3 points for Brecken Kruger, 8 points for Matthew Hansen, 33 points for Lincoln Keenholz, 3 for Jet Zabel, 4 for Jackson Edmond, 10 for Christian Bush. For the Yankton Bucks, lead scorer, Drew Reichen, 19 points. Mac Reichen with 5, Rugby Reichen with 10, 9 for Dylan Prouty, 2 for Cody Oswald, 6 for Jaden Kroll, 2 for Michael Moores, and 2 for Colton Potts. That is your stats review. And now let's talk about our top-notch glass cleaner of the game, brought to you by Top-Notch Glass Cleaners. Receive great service for cleaning your home or commercial windows with top-notch window cleaning. Contact them at yanktonwindowcleaning.com. And I'm going to go ahead and give this one to Mac Reichen. He did a good job. And being one of the shorter guys on the court, always just finds good angles and just really crashes into the paint. He is our top-notch glass cleaner of the game. Our defensive player of the game brought to you by Olson's Pest Technicians. Call 1-800-KIL-BUGS, your residential and commercial pest control solution. Cody Oswald had a tough task. A lot of Bucks are going off of Lincoln Keenholz, or given that assignment, but he stuck with him. Lincoln Keenholz will, tonight, he could shoot through a brick wall, and he would make it. So he was very special here tonight. But Cody Oswald is our defensive player of the game. Offensive player of the game, brought to you by Hy-Vee. It was a helpful smile in every aisle, is going to go to Drew Reichen, our lead scorer, 19 points. He gave the Bucks hope near the end, hitting some big three-pointers to close the gap on Pierre. Out-of-town scoreboard. Let's go ahead and check some scores from around the state. And girls AA final, 50-19, Sioux Falls, Washington over Watertown, 40-38. Harrisburg squeaked by Aberdeen Central in overtime. Brandon Valley and Rapid City Central at Central are going on right now, 39-31, end of the third period with Brandon Valley on top. O'Gorman over Rapid City Stevens, 29-16 at halftime. That is at Rapid City Stevens. Boys AA scores. Aberdeen Central over Harrisburg, 56-51. Watertown over Sioux Falls, Washington, 70-68. Sioux Falls Roosevelt is up by 1 over Mitchell. The game is at Sioux Falls Roosevelt, and there is just 1 minute left in the fourth. I'm not going to lie to you. You won't hurt my feelings because I kind of want to watch that. And Pierre over Yankton, obviously 61-55. And then later tonight, we have some scores. Rapid City Stevens is going to be taking on O'Gorman and hosting, and then Rapid City Central hosting Brandon Valley. That's your out-of-town scoreboard here on the Hy-Vee postgame show. There's a helpful smile in every aisle. We'll be back after this break, hopefully with Coach Chris Haynes of the Yankton Bucks. This has been Bucks Basketball on KYNTV. And welcome back to the Hy-Vee post-game show. We'll have Coach Chris Haynes joining us here momentarily, but let's look ahead for both of these teams. Well, mainly actually Yankton. I don't think I know where Pierre's going. And Yankton will be hosting Rapid City Stevens on Friday, next Friday, and Rapid City Central on Saturday, the back ends of those two doubleheaders. Time for our post-game interview brought to you by Rhonda Westland State Farm Insurance. Let Rhonda review your current home, auto, or life insurance. See if she can help you save some money. Coach Chris Haynes. Coach, you said it in the pregame, but it turned out to, well, be very true. Lincoln Keenholz, you can't slow him down. He's going to make you pay. I'm pretty sure he could have hit a shot through a brick wall tonight.
Yeah, he's a great player, obviously, and you can't let one guy get 33 points and expect to win the game. So that was the biggest thing. Obviously, game plan wasn't good enough and wasn't executed well enough.
But the Bucks did come back and got back within 3, and just that effort just kind of tire out the guys a little bit.
Yeah, proud of the guys. They've done that a few times this year where we got behind and things looked pretty bleak, but proud of that, their attitude and that never die kind of attitude that they have, and they showed that again tonight and got themselves back in it and gave themselves a chance.
Rough matchup on the court, obviously. It's always physical here at Pierre. And now you have a week to get even fresher legs under you. What's practice going to look like this week?
Yeah, it's February now, and, AA basketball is really close. I think, obviously, Roosevelt and even O'Gorman have separated themselves from the pack a little bit, but then after that, it's really close. And I really think that the teams who are going to prove here in February and get better, after you've been, 14 games and it's been a long season, what are the teams that can come in and really keep improving and keep working? I think those are the teams you'll see in the state tournament.
Sioux Falls, Roosevelt, and Mitchell, they had a 1-point game going on here, under a minute to go in the fourth.
Yeah, so. Both good teams, and it doesn't surprise me. Mitchell's super talented, and if they knock them off, it wouldn't totally surprise me. I think Roosevelt's the best team, but I think Mitchell could definitely play with them, and wouldn't surprise me if they beat them.
Well, Coach, we'll give you a call tomorrow morning on the Pizza Ranch phone line. Safe travels back to Yankton.
All right, thanks, Bryce.
All right, that was Coach Chris Haynes joining us. Always appreciate his time, and we'll take one last break here on the Hy-Vee postgame show. (61-55) your final score here at TF Riggs High School. Pierre over the Yankton Bucks. We'll see how all this affects the standings and overall records, though. Both teams now at 7-7. Thanks to Josh Bolter, our camera operator here tonight. Ryan Knight, our KYNT studio producer. And John Winkler, my counterpart at Pierre, KCCR, for being very hospitable up here in the broadcast booth. He thought I was going to say something mean, but that is not the case. And always appreciate Pierre High School in general having us. and long road ahead to Yankton. Make sure you tune into the Coaches Show tomorrow morning, the Coaches Corner at 9:05 a.m., give or take 30 seconds. And I will be there. We'll talk to Coach Chris Haynes, Coach Trey Creer, and Coach Tyler Schuring. Have an interview with him a little bit later tonight. There's a big wrestling invite in Yankton tomorrow, 17 teams. And then an ESD meet for Coach Justin Olson and Yankton Gymnastics. That's all tomorrow morning. Your final score one last time, 61-55. Yankton Bucks fall short to the Pierre Governors. I'm Bryce Ladwig. This has been Bucks Basketball and KYNT, KYNTV.